this season. Adrian Beltre blasted his 8th home run, and Michael Young knocked in his 21st run, both highs versus the green and gold. Tonight, two former teammates face off. C.J. Wilson will look to add to his career-high 16 wins, while Brandon McCarthy looks to beat his former team for the first time this year. The battle for Game 2 begins right now.
Wednesday night baseball from the O.K Coliseum. The Texas Rangers closing in on the American League West Division title as we get set for Game 2 of this 3-game series. They will send their ace to the mound, C.J. Wilson. He'll be looking for his 17th win of the year. It's the A's and the Rangers, Game 2 of 3, coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, the A's made big news before the game, and Bob Melvin is going to remain the manager of the Athletics, a 3-year deal, Ray, and we are all very excited, and we think he's going to do a terrific job.
I think Billy Beane did the right thing in hiring Bob Melvin. He got a chance to evaluate him as Bob took over the managerial post in June, early part of June. But I think what the A's have seen, as you see the numbers for Bob Melvin getting a 3-year contract, former catcher, 10 Major League Baseball seasons, this is his 3rd managerial job. But I think the one thing that he has shown that he's at every ball game, right down to the 27th out. And if a manager does that, a player also sees that. They're going to play hard, and I think we've seen that from this A's team since Melvin has taken over.
Now on to tonight's game, C.J. Wilson and Brandon McCarthy. Wilson is their ace. McCarthy, well, there's been times this year where he has pitched like an ace.
Well, the thing about Brandon McCarthy, a former Ranger, and it seems like every time he pitches against his former team, he does or tries to do a lot. And for C.J. Wilson, no matter what he does, what kind of lead he has, he pitches his same game. Good off-speed pitcher. He will use both sides of the plate. Brandon McCarthy, of course, I'd like to see him get through the first couple of innings, settle down, pitch as well as we know he can with a fastball that runs up a little bit. He also has a good cut fastball, good sinking fastball, outstanding curveball. I think he loved nothing better than to pick up his 2nd career win against a team that he played for the last couple of years.
And a team that has really hit the A's pitching staff well this year. So the Rangers and the Athletics, Game 2 of this 3-game series is coming up from the Coliseum. But up next, Sportsnet Central Studios is where we're headed for an update.
is brought to you by AT&T, by 95.7 The Game, the Bay Area's only FM sports station, and by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
All right, that gentleman is ready to roll. So are we. He's looking to even up this series at a game apiece with the Texas Rangers. All right. So the A's have taken the field wearing the green tops tonight behind their pitcher Brandon McCarthy. Game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. Another nice night. 69 degrees after a hot day in the Bay Area. So Indian summer is here and it feels good. Nice and warm. Texas Rangers closing in on that division title. They have a magic number of 4. So we'll tell you what happened with the Angels in just a moment. Here's the lineup for the Rangers. Kinsler, Andrus, Hamilton, Young, Beltre, Napoli, Murphy, Cruz, and Chavez. Looks a lot like last night's.
Yep, exactly the same. But it will be Brandon McCarthy on the mound for the Athletics. Brandon 9-8 on the season. His 9th win came in his last start. Did a great job starting the series against the Tigers and defeated the Tigers, giving up just the 1 run. That was a Delman Young home run, but other than that, did a great job. And of course, the key for Brandon McCarthy tonight, and I heard Shooty talk about it, but the key is to play solid defense behind him, because the runs he's given up this year, a lot of them have been unearned. That needs to stop. Catch the ball.
Willingham, Crispin, Taylor in the outfield. Sizemore, Pennington, Weeks, and Allen on the infield, with Kurt Suzuki doing the catching. Congratulations to that man, Bob Melvin. He is the owner of a 3-year contract. So we're happy for Bob. We like him. We said in our pregame hit, Ray, he's a nice man and a good manager, and that's a good combination.
Well, you can see the intensity, and of course, that has been the look of Bob Melvin ever since Bomel, as they call it. He's already got a fan club, Bomel Fan Club. Early June, the interim position, and now full-time manager for the Athletics, and very deserving. Happy that Billy Beane made that decision, and he's going to be here at least for 3 years.
First pitch of the game is hit hard to Sizemore, who is playing in. Kinsler is retired, and he's out number 1. So that'll bring up Elvis Andrus. So Brandon McCarthy looking for his 10th win.
Batting in the second position.
All right.
They said this game's supposed to start at 7-11, and what was the first pitch? 7-11.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. The big boys come in town. We wait. We've got the best crew there is. No matter what they have to do, how long they have to wait, they're still the best.
So 1-0 to Elvis Andrus, who'll be followed by Hamilton. Just underway from the Coliseum. Well, we told you we'd give you the Angels score, and that is over. The Angels beat Toronto 7-2, so they keep their slim playoff hopes alive. That game just went final. So that keeps the Rangers' magic number right where it's at 4 to win the AL West. The Angels, with the win, get a half game back, so they're 4.5 back. But the Angels still in that wild card race. We'll keep you updated on that too. That is getting very interesting, and so is the National League wild card. Wow. Big chopper toward the shortstop Pennington, and that is out number 2. Well, the Boston Red Sox just lost again to the Baltimore Orioles. The Rays lost the first game of the doubleheader against the Yankees. They're tied in the second game, and the Angels won. So that is your updated AL wildcard. So how do you think they're doing in Boston?
Wow. Just in the monitor to your left, they were showing the end of that game, and Terry Francona, who's a great man and managed a couple World Championship teams, as soon as that game was over,
gone.
He was straight up the tunnel, and
I saw too, and it was a I'm not happy, I'm out of here kind of.
But I think they had a 4-1 lead with Josh Beckett.
They did.
Next thing you know, it's 4-4 and then 6-4, and I think that was the final. 6-4 Baltimore, and so no doubt Buck Showalter as expected. And we talk about Bob Melvin as far as the intensity and right down to the 27th out in the 162nd game. And that's what the managers do when they're out of contention. They just don't throw in the towel, wait for next year. They continue to try to play hard and get wins.
So how about that, Ray? The Baltimore Orioles go into Boston and take 3 out of 4.
That is amazing. After the Rays did the same thing, right?
Yep. They split the doubleheader on Monday. Did the Red Sox and the Orioles. Baltimore won yesterday. Baltimore won again tonight. It's baseball today.
There's no doubt it's the best sport because, I mean, you can't hold the ball and let the time run out, because you can hold the ball all you want, but you have to get the 27th out to get the win. Meanwhile, here at the ranch, the same things happened last night with Josh Hamilton. 2 strikes, fouled off a couple against Rich Harden. Went to 3-2, but looks like he's going to be out, and this is the big change for tonight. Strikes out Rick.
So McCarthy has a nice inning, and we're headed to the bottom of the first. No score. He's coming to bat against that man, C.J. Wilson, here in the bottom of the first. Check out the lineup. Weeks, Chris Matsui, Willingham, Sizemore, Pennington, Suzuki, Allen, and Taylor.
C.J. Wilson, last start against the A's, 8 shutout innings against the club down in Arlington, Texas. 16-game winner for the Texas Rangers. Starting rotation again, 215 in the 3rd innings for the left-hander. He is normally given pretty good run support, at least against the A's when he's pitched against them, but we'll see what happens tonight. 4-pitch pitcher, although his fastball, he can throw it different ways. A lot of movement on his fastball, will not give in a lot of times. He just did something right there, Cut. The throw from Napoli to second base, skipped in the dirt. Kinsler caught it, threw it around the infield. Wilson took his warm-up tosses. A lot of pitchers would say, I like the scuff on this. I'm going to utilize it.
The ball.
That's right. He threw it in. Got a new one. Got a new pearl.
His 6th start against the A's this year. So no secrets. The 3-2 record, 3.09 ERA. That's against the A's.
Well, he has enough pitches, and we have seen in the previous 5 starts where he will not stay in one pattern, which helps a pitcher when he has an assortment that he can utilize.
Jamal Weeks hitting .295 with no homers, 30 runs batted in. Jamal was 0 for 4 last night. Pops this one up on the right field line, and it's going to drop foul. Let's check out the defense by the Texas Rangers tonight. Hamilton, Chavez, Murphy in the outfield, Beltre, Andrus, Kinsler, Young on the infield, and Mike Napoli again behind the plate. Ron Washington is... You got to keep that A lineup out there till you finish the deal.
Well, it's not hard to do. And he may DH one of the guys tomorrow, Michael Young or Adrian Beltre, depending what happens tonight. As he knows, and the club knows, the Angels have already won. And as we said last night, the Angels hope for one thing, that the 3 games starting Monday means something. They're doing their part in Toronto. They need help, and will need help through the weekend.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Weeks.
Here are the Dodge Charger keys to the game for Bob Melvin in the green and gold until 2014, and we hope beyond that. Wilson versus McCarthy. It's a pitcher's duel. Both pitchers throw strikes. Adam McCarthy, 3 ground ball outs in the top of the first, and strikeout for this left-hander C.J. Wilson to Jamal Weeks.
So Coco Chris steps in.
Oh, wow. He gets that pitch.
That was a strike?
Wow. Yes, it was.
Oh, my goodness.
He gets that.
I looked away.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough night, although Brandon McCarthy's got the... likes to throw the good low one, but that's a little bit ridiculous. Right hand went up. That means a strike. Hard to believe.
So 0-1 to Chris, hitting .272. 8 home runs, 51 runs batted in. The 8th home run was last night. Solo shot. Breaking ball by C.J. Wilson. Crisp is 2 for 10 in his career against Wilson.
Wilson throws a fastball, which is a 4-seam, which is straight 2-seam sinking action, and a cut fastball. So 3 variations off the number 1 pitch, and then you throw in the slurve, big sweeping breaking pitch, changeup, slider. Mike Napoli doesn't have enough fingers.
He swings and misses, and Wilson gets the strikeout. Couple of strikeouts in the first inning. And what that does is it gives Wilson 200 strikeouts for the season.
Batting in the 3rd position.
Too shabby. First Rangers pitcher with 200 since Nolan Ryan in 1991. So Wilson's very fine season continues. Wilson's ERA is 6th best in the American League. He's 6th in strikeouts. He's 9th in innings pitched. And he's going to get a big contract at the end of the year because he is a free agent. If he pitches well in the postseason, look out. 1-1 the count to Hideki Matsui, hitting .252, make that .255 for Matsui with 12 home runs. Rangers won last night by a final score of 7-2. Holland getting his 15th win. Harden with the loss. So the Rangers with an 89-65 record, so they're shooting for win number 90.
As we always say, if you want to beat a team, and especially a good pitcher on the opposite side, so the numbers for Holland last night, the only run they gave up was a solo home run, first major league home run for Michael Taylor, when Holland threw him a 3-2 changeup. which that will go back in the memory bank and say why.
Kinsler has it. He's going to have to hit the pitcher in stride, and he does. Nice play all around. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for C.J. Wilson. No score after 1. South. Immediately following every Raiders game this season, change the channel to Comcast Sportsnet California or Comcast Sportsnet Plus for Raiders post-game live. Hosted by Jim Cosmore, with former Raider Bill Romanowski and Tony Bruno. Kate Longworth and insider Paul Gutierrez will be live in the locker room in Oakland this Sunday after the game. It's the Raiders and the Jets right here at the Coliseum. Complete Raiders coverage every night at Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So tomorrow is the final A's game of the season here at the Coliseum, and the Raiders take over on Sunday. Good game, Raiders and Jets. Michael Young steps in. Michael Young with 3 hits last night. And the 3 hits gives him 201 hits for the season. That's the 6th time in his career that he has done that. Terrific year for Young, 104 RBIs. He's got 40 doubles, 376 on base percentage, and he's got another hit.
Well, the key to a good hitter, a lot of times, of course, being able to make solid contact, use the whole field, but also to get a count in your favor. And that's what he did. He got the count 2-1, got a high fastball, got on top of it, and beat it into the ground in between third and short. So knows the strike zone. In this case, he gets a hit, gets a fastball, and takes advantage of it.
So leadoff single for Young. That's the first hit in the game. And here's Beltre. Beltre takes a fastball first strike. 3-run homer last night for Beltre in the very first inning. Power surge going on. 8 home runs in the month of September. He's 3 RBIs away from 100.
And you talk about Ron Washington playing his A lineup, but you know, I think from the personal standpoint, you have Hamilton at 91, Beltre at 97 runs batted in. Michael Young's already there, and Kinsler would like to get 30 home runs.
Line drive, base hit center field. Vogel was shaded over toward right center. So he hustles over there to get it, but not before Michael Young goes all the way to third.
A low fastball in the 1-1 count. Trying to go a little movement. Actually, the two-seamer brought it back towards the middle of the plate. And Adrian Beltre doesn't miss too many. You see that had too much to the plate. He's strong, and boy, he has shown it this season.
Pitch to Napoli is a strike down around the knees on the outside corner.
The thing about Brandon McCarthy, he throws strikes and he's a strikeout pitcher, and opportune time to get the strikeout, then maybe the double play. Although Napoli usually puts the ball in play, and as indicated last night, the Rangers don't strike out too much.
On the ground towards short. Pennington will take it himself, and that's a double play. Run comes in to score. That's Michael Young. So Texas takes a 1-0 lead here in the second inning.
And it was not much of a problem for Michael Young to go to third base, but that's the importance of going first to third. Even with first and third, nobody out, Taylor made double play at Pennington, so the A's are willing to give up a run to get 2 outs. They do that, but if Young had not gone to third on the base hit, he'd still be standing there. So that's the aggressiveness.
Willingham's there, and that's out number 3. But a run on a couple of hits for Texas. We're headed to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Rangers. Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Moneyball. It's starring Brad Pitt. It's in theaters this Friday, September 23rd. This film is rated PG-13. We saw it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
See it again?
Yeah, I think I would. I'm not a big see a movie the second time because I.
But you look for different things.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
in this one, you would look for different things.
I think there was a lot of anticipation for the movie coming out, and we were fortunate to see it firsthand. But then you kind of sit back after that and you kind of digest a little bit more.
Yeah,
and
it's a good call.
See what happens, especially if you have a couple hours. You need to just go to a movie and relax.
So 1-1 the count to Josh Willingham. General manager
manager of the Athletics, Billy Beane, is scheduled to come up and visit us in the 4th inning. So look forward to talking to Billy about the Bob Melvin contract and the movie. Looking ahead a little bit to 2012. So look forward to chatting with the general manager, Billy Beane. Appreciate him coming up. Two and two the count to Willingham. Wilson had a 3-up, 3-down 1st inning with a couple of strikeouts. And that one right on the corner, strike 3 call.
Jim Catfish Hunter, Hall of Fame pitcher, just a great person, not only on the field as a Hall of Fame pitcher, but also in his Hertford, North Carolina community, and just a great individual. And one is giving every season for the name of Jim Catfish Hunter, and his wife Ginger and his 2 boys there to accept the award.
Good looking group.
Yes, they are. It's got some energy, man. So what do you got? He said, Stomper gave me this ball. Meanwhile, they just watched Daddy get hung up on a pitch that might have been a little bit out of the strike zone. And it's Jerry Davis, home plate umpire, calling a low strike. And that's not good for a hitter. If you try to swing a low strike, a ball that all you can do is beat in the ground, it's tough to get under and elevate. Well, it's voted by the A's players, coaches, and staff for the player whose play on the field, conduct in the clubhouse, best exemplifies courageous, competitive, and inspirational spirit demonstrated by Catfish Hunter. Boy, he was exactly that. And Josh Willingham, all that he has done and meant to this ball club, and it is voted on by his peers. So players thought enough of him to vote in the award this season, and rightfully so.
Well, Josh Willingham also won the Dave Stewart Community Service Award.
Yes.
And he's also the ace candidate for the Roberto Clemente Award.
And the state of Alabama has to be very pleased that they have a young man who grew up in Alabama and still contributes finally to the efforts, especially the devastation of some of those areas. And his wife Ginger, the Josh Willingham Foundation. See how Scott Sizemore had to wait on that pitch to make sure that it was called the ball. But you know, they appropriately on Diamond Vision, it was a little bit beforehand, but they played the song Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
Nice rendition. I thought maybe that was in honor of Josh Willingham from Alabama. That award will be given during the World Series, the Virgil Clemente Award.
Kind of a league-wide, baseball-wide.
Yeah.
Each team has a candidate. Good year for Pennington, 264, 8 homers, 58 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 last night. Just missed outside, 2-0. Over the mound, Andrus is going to take care of it himself. So the 6-3 double play ends the inning. A's do not score. We are headed to the 3rd, 1-0 Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen.
the question. Joe from Concord asks, will Brandon McCarthy be with the A's next year?
If the A's want him.
That's exactly right.
He's under contract control, as they would say. And not the fact that he is on a long-term multi-year deal. Signed a one-year contract with the A's, made the club out of spring training. And he has done an exceptional job, especially since the All-Star break.
Weeks throws, and Allen cannot quite dig it out. Weeks was moving, and he had to throw across his body. So Nelson Cruz is aboard. We'll see what the ruling is.
Well, the thing about Cruz, as we saw last night, and probably the reason he's hitting 8th, he's really not busting it down the line. If he's normally okay, he would be running harder. Jamal Weeks actually had enough time to stop and throw. Instead, on the roof, did not get enough on the throw. And Brandon Allen tried to reach out. Brandon Allen actually could have stepped back and taken a better hop because Cruz was just coasting. He's cruise control down the line. Because he's probably trying to protect the legs and staying healthy for their potential postseason.
I've not heard a call just yet.
There's second base.
There it is. Allen has this one. Throws to second for one. Back to first. Not quite in time. Andy Chavez uses his speed to reach on the fielder's choice.
Brandon McCarthy did his job. Excellent play by Cliff Pennington to make the return throw after Allen took himself out of the play by fielding the ball and throwing to second. But a nice play by Brandon Allen. And of course, pitcher fundamental practice, that play is, well, it's used a lot. And see Brandon McCarthy coming on the screen knowing he was going to have to get to first base. And the important thing for Cliff Pennington as a shortstop to have the pitcher on the bag, as Brandon McCarthy was. You don't want to try to throw to a moving target and have the ball end up in the dugout for another error and a runner in scoring position.
So, right, Brandon McCarthy, getting back to that. He will be a free agent after next year, after 2012. So, as you said, the A's have him under their control for one more year. So, yeah, you think he would be back? Just once you get to 6 years of service time, that is when you become a free agent.
First year arbitration, if you have 3 good seasons leading up to that arbitration first year, you can take care of yourself and immediate family. Once you get to 6 years, you can take care of everybody if you're good.
Weeks gets back, makes the catch. So Kinsler's retired.
But a lot of credit for Brandon McCarthy. Of course, his history has usually been cut short, his seasons, because of injuries. And this year, with the exception of just the one time on the disabled list, he's made starts and been very consistent when he has taken the ball. And I think that's something that is a credit to him out of spring training, making the club, staying healthy, and should be a lot better for him going into this offseason and spring training next February and March in Arizona.
Strike to Elvis Andrus right on the inside corner.
Could have more run support in the early part of the season. His record would be much better than what it is. He's trying to get to double figures tonight with his 9 wins already in the book.
Andrus bounced out to short in the first inning. Chavez takes off. Pitch is sliced foul.
Well, that was an 0-2 count, no pitch out, even though it's a pretty good chance Chavez is going to be running. But I'm still a firm believer. You have 2 strikes on the hitter, and especially 2 outs, get the hitter. You can pitch out, doesn't guarantee you're going to throw the runner out at second. And all you're doing by pitching out and not having success throwing him out, you're putting a runner in scoring position for the hitter.
in the dirt. Nice block by Suzuki. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Andrus chases, and that's the first strikeout for McCarthy, and that ends the top of the third. 1-0 Texas. Comcast Cable Channel 410 and 780, DirecTV Channel 699, Dish Channel 445, and AT&T Channel 768. If you can't find Comcast Sportsnet Plus, log on to csncalifornia.com or call your local cable provider. So that is where the Earthquakes game is airing right now. First pitch to Kurt Suzuki is in for a strike. Suzuki, Allen, and Taylor in the bottom of the third. Suzuki pops with 5. That Rays Yankees game, and that is the second game of the doubleheader. It's 2-2 in the 8th inning. We said the Yankees won the first game of that doubleheader this afternoon, and what that win did was clinch a postseason berth for New York. But with the Red Sox losing, if the Yankees were to win the second game of that doubleheader, that would give them the division. Pop up 5. So the Yankees are in, and now they're 1 win away from being in as a division winner.
And they not only want that, they want home field advantage throughout the postseason, at least through the League Championship Series. It's the National League once again will have home field advantage in the World Series. But have to get the American League All-Stars back on track. I mean, that can't have that in back-to-back seasons where the National League has home field advantage.
Oh, it's awful. Trying to think when the last time there was a Game 7 in the World Series.
That's right.
I think it's been a while. Yeah, Angels, Giants, and that's 0-2. So that's what, 9-10 years ago.
10 years next year. The Angels will be celebrating their 10th anniversary of their first and only World Championship.
Fastball outside corner, and a little cut on it, and that is the first strikeout.
We'll make that the 4th strikeout. Here's our Farmers Insurance report card. Now the West is 1. So the difference within the division, 33-16 for Texas, 26-25 for the Angels. So interesting stuff. Well, every game in the division, it's like 2 games.
Well, you saw the interleague for the Rangers. They were 9-9. The Angels won 13 last season. It was the Rangers really taking advantage of their schedule during the interleague. Jumped off to about a 10-game lead and never relinquished it second half.
Beltre has it. Well, their records, they being the Rangers, 12-5 against the A's, 9-7 against the Angels, 12-4 against the Mariners. So indeed, lots of success.
Right fielder, number 23, Michael Taylor.
So 2 outs for Michael Taylor. Michael Taylor with the home run last night, his first major league home run, and brought in his first major league RBI as well.
Might not see another changeup 3-2 either. He may stay with a pretty good fastball. We saw last night Derek Holland throwing about 97, threw him an 83 changeup that got the bat head out in front, hit a home run. C.J. Wilson doesn't throw that hard, but has a variety of pitches.
Fastball is high. Taylor overall 5 for 19 in the big leagues. Fastball right in on the hands.
As I mentioned, 3-2 changeup last night. Derek Holland decided to try to fool him, and he did not. No doubt, not achievement in his first major league, and high fives from his teammates, getting his first still tip of the cap to the fans in right field.
2-2 now to Taylor. Foul balls. Taylor battling C.J. Wilson. Wilson 4 strikeouts already in the game. He's walked 1. He's still looking for their first hit.
Captain, we were talking about the National League wild card, about the Cardinals coming back and beating the Mets 6-5.
And Atlanta lost.
Yeah. Let's see. They might get a lot of Christmas cards from those teams fighting for the wild card. Because before the wild card came into play, those teams would have great records for second place and go home. But now there's that possibility of being the wild card. And of course, once you get in there, as teams have shown, the Angels in 2002 were the wild card champions.
Good pitch. Fastball right on the outside corner. Couple more strikeouts. So Michael Taylor strikes out. The general manager, Billy Beane, will join us when we come back.
joined in the booth by the general manager, Billy Beane. Billy, thanks for stopping by. Busy day.
Ray.
Good to see you, Billy.
As well.
All right, so let's get right to it. Bob Melvin, 3-year extension. How long have you guys been working on this? And we talked about it earlier, and we said great guy, great manager, and we're pretty thrilled. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, we've it's been probably been talking about the last month, and we had some procedures we had to go through, and from my end, Bob's been fantastic. He said he took over in a very challenging time for us, in the middle of the season. He didn't know anybody, didn't know the staff. Really, the only guy he knew was really me. And I think between myself, David, Farhan in front office, our training staff, we couldn't be happier with the job he's done. And listen, under very challenging circumstances, he inherited, like Bob had. He had a number of injuries when he first came over. But we are very pleased to know that he's going to be here for at least the next 3 years. What
did you see in him? And of course, the interim tag was there, but I thought you brought up a great point, and Bob as well, during the press conference about the evaluation process. You had a chance to actually see him, and of course, Bob, with this ball club. What did you see that impressed you the most, or what have you seen?
Bob's got great communication skills, and I know that's a sort of a buzzword that you hear all the time, but I truly see it with him. He's got a real awareness of what's going on in his clubhouse. He great communication with the front office, great with Lou. Listen, there's a lot of people you have to communicate in this organization and in all organizations, and it was evident from the beginning that not only was he a player's manager, but he was also a organizations manager, and that he found a way to really convey his thoughts clearly, and he does address things too. When things happen, he gets on them, and he's very, very passionate. That's one thing that really surprised me. I mean, if you know Bob, he seems to have a laid-back personality, but that's not the case. And I mean in a good way. I mean, this guy is in there like clockwork at 11:30 every single day for a night game. He's got a routine down, and by the time we come down for lunch, he's got an hour's work in.
A couple of quick outs for Brandon McCarthy as he faces Beltre. But it's got to be better to sit and watch a guy like Ray said manage for 2-3 months as opposed to sitting in an interview room and asking him questions, and where you may be thinking, is this guy saying what I want to hear? Is he being honest? Right? I'm sure you've had that situation before.
Yeah, you do. And when you've got a couple months to sit with a guy every day, see him in good times and in bad times, that's really a better interview process than sitting down with somebody for an hour. And and once again, Bob too. I mean, Bob had to come over here. I think he's a really highly regarded guy in this game, and I think he had to get to know us, feel comfortable here, and then that happened right from the start. He's from the area, so we certainly had a little bit of an edge. And he seems to be really happy. Once again, I couldn't be happier with the fact that he's going to be here for the next couple of years.
It says a lot about him, and maybe you could comment on the fact that whenever somebody in the press conference says, what do you think about next year? I said, I'm thinking about tonight against the Rangers and the rest of the season. I mean, that had to mean a lot to you as a general manager, because he's going to be thinking more about just the next 3 years. He's thinking about the present.
Yeah, and I followed up with the same answer because he gave the perfect one. I didn't think I could improve upon it. Listen, every game in Major League Baseball, there's value in winning every single game, and I like that attitude. And we've got a week to go in the season, but you know what? We're going to try and win every one of them, and it starts with the manager, and he's got a great attitude in that regard.
Chop toward Sizemore. He's got it. And we'll continue our conversation with the general manager, Billy Beane, when we come back. 1-0 Texas, middle of the fourth. we continue our conversation with the general manager, Billy Beane. And Billy, as we wind down 2011, what will be you and your guys' first priority as you enter the offseason from a personnel standpoint? What are the first thing you're going to look at?
Well, going back a little, with Bob being here for 3 years, we have major league coaching staff, and trying to talking to those guys, and I'll be communicating with Bob as to how we go forward. Then from there it is the personnel, and I think right now with the wait that we've been having, I mean, we need to get a decision soon so that we can put a business plan together. Whether we're going to be here for the long term or we're going to be somewhere else, and we do expect a decision very soon. And so really until we get one, that business plan still is sort of a somewhat questionable right now.
And you are referring to
a new stadium?
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any secret. And it's really the point now, because there are moves you'd make differently depending on where you might be.
Right.
I mean, it's just a fact.
And anything as far as anything of newsworthy happening with the Cardinals lines? I know in just reading, I think Lou Wolf, yourself, said, give us a decision one way or the other, as far as what's going to be happening. But from your standpoint, have you gotten any news?
No, the only thing we've been told that we expect it very soon. Okay. And I know that sounds sort of redundant given the last couple of years, but
that man would like to know, wouldn't he?
Yeah, yeah. No, and we all would. I mean, listen, it's a baseball team as much as anything. You need to be able to either you got to plan 3-4 years out, and the moves you make today will be determined really by where you're going to be in the next couple of years. Anyone say whether it's here or whether it's somewhere else, but we do expect that decision, and our business plan will be based upon whatever that decision is.
A roller foul by Coco Crisp. Well, you do have, Jamal Weeks is going to be your second baseman. Would you say, when you look back on this season, and there's been some good moments, but from a player standpoint, he's been maybe the best story, #1 pick. It looks like he's a keeper, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you know what? I tell you, really surprised me how he's, really done as well as he has offensively. We didn't expect him to come up at that time. We felt at some point this year he would be here. But I think going into the season, everyone felt all along that Ellie would be our second baseman and Jamal would have a full year at AAA. So when we called him up, it was, certainly not part of the plan. And I think we even thought there was a possibility that he'd come up for a short time. As it turned out, he never stopped hitting from the first day. And here he is, and we expect him to be here a long time. He's a really good kid. He's had some injuries in the minor leagues, but he's been very durable up here. He wants in the lineup every day, which I think a manager appreciates. And very, very pleased with the way he's handled himself up here.
Bob Melvin talked about next spring, now that he has a job, and he talked about it before, that there'd be a greater emphasis on defense. You brought up a good point by saying that the season started with Kuzminoff, Pennington, Ellis, and Barton. 3 of the 4 are gone. So in essence, those 5 errors in the opening night, which kind of started the bad season error-wise from the ball club. But what do you see as far as the makeup of your infield the way it is right now? If that's those are the 4 guys, what do you see in the future as far as better defense?
Foul right at the plate as Weeks takes off.
Well, the one thing with young players, you've got to be patient, and Jamal and Sizemore and Brandon, you're talking about kids.
Exactly.
But you're also talking about very good athletes. Sizemore made the flip over from second base, and to do it at the big league level, that you're asking a lot. And you know what? He's shown some real flashes over there that he's got a chance to be a very, very good third baseman. And this is essentially his rookie year as well.
Exactly.
Brandon, for his size, has got very good athletic ability as well. And Jamal, we've all seen him. He's only going to get better. But I do think we have to be patient. I mean, you get a little spoiled when you watch a guy like Mark Ellis for a decade. The beauty of Ellie, and I think I said this to Jamal, is that he was really boring on defense.
He's so good.
And
That's right.
and there were so many plays that you took for granted with him. But I think he's been the best second baseman defensively consistently for the last 10 years. And you're asking a lot if you're going to expect anybody to follow that out there. So Jamal, but does have the athletic ability, and he has the desire to be good. And so I think you're going to only see that happen over the next couple of years.
What about Cliff Pennington? Because again, he came up a couple of years ago, the last couple of months, got his feet wet, and he had Mark Ellis to help him. Now he's helping Jamal Weeks. What do you see as far as Cliff and how much better he's going to get, even with that responsibility? And I think the skipper said he feels he's a leader in this ball club, especially in the infield, and now he's taken over that responsibility that Ellie had in the past.
You know you're getting old when you see these batons being passed on. I remember you know, any of those batons I've seen passed on, it just seemed like the other day. Yeah. Well, yeah, we go back to your head.
I saw your baton when you were playing.
I dropped mine really quick. So.
Well, you got smart.
Yeah.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Now Weeks is going to scramble back to first, and he's going to get caught in the rundown. And he will be tagged out by Elvis Andrus. So when it's all said and done, it is a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and just like that, there are 2 outs.
Well, there's no doubt, and I think it's always a good move. 3-2, put the pressure, or at least the responsibility, on the hitter to make contact. And the breaking pitch from C.J. Wilson, probably not a surprise, or it shouldn't be a surprise, because he's been pretty consistent. When he gets the strikeout count, he's going to go over the cutter, slider, whatever the pitch is, to the right-hander, and holding the runner pretty close. It's going to be tough.
You know, Ray, you mentioned about Penny, and in a way that also helps his own maturity too. I remember when Tejada was breaking in Mark Ellis, and so I think it does when a guy feels that responsibility to a young player like someone had to him when he came up. I think it helps his development as well.
What about the pitcher? And 2 guys in particular. McCarthy tonight, and Moscoso, 2 guys that McCarthy, of course, made the club out of spring training, but Moscoso came up with the injuries. Obviously the numbers show, but from your standpoint, the future for those guys, and not putting you on the spot, but with Anderson out until at least midseason, Braden, we hope is going to come back, but it seems like those 2 guys have put themselves in the picture.
Yeah, no question. I mean, they've earned that right. Guillermo he really has been amazing. I mean, as soon as you sort of think that, all right, he's had a couple good starts, and the guy's, he's had a great year. And Mac has always been a very talented guy. It's a matter of staying healthy and staying on the mound. And through the process of injuries and his experience just watching games, he's really turned into a real efficient pitcher. He's really smart, and I think he knows his body much better than he did earlier in his career. And he's finished very strong here. And we were, like I said, he's always a guy the whole league thought. So there's no secret about this guy. Texas traded a great pitcher for him. So. I don't think it was any great discovery, but the fact that he stayed healthy, by and large, save for that little spot in the middle of the year, he's been out there, and when he's out there, he's pretty good.
So quality and affordable as well, right? I mean, both of them.
Yeah, you know what? We came in this year with a deep pitching staff, and you know what? We've needed it. So there's no such thing as having too much starting pitching or pitching period. And as soon as you think, you look at Boston.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, they put a great team together, and boom, Buck Holtz is, gone, and all the injuries they had to that staff, and as good a team as they are, they've had to go, 15, 16 deep into that organization, and it's very difficult even for the best.
And even with their money, they can't go buy what they need. They have to rely on that, and it's not happening.
Matsui goes the other way with a base hit.
Kelly, and again, a loaded question. If you don't want to answer, that's fine. But you've signed 2 guys to long-term contracts, and of course, trying to bypass the arbitration, all those things. The future of other guys. I mean, where does the organization stand right now with regard to certain players that are getting the arbitration eligibility, and maybe the thought of signing long-term? Anybody come to mind, or just in general the philosophy of signing additional players?
Well, in general, I mean, a club like ours is really going to, needs to be aggressive in that, because even the arbitration process can get out of hand for us, even for young players. And, one of the reasons, ourselves and some of the other smaller mid-market teams is when they lock up their young players for a number of years. We did it early in the decade. Cleveland did it before us. Tampa did it. Minnesota's done with some of their guys. And it's critical that you do that. That being said, that's another part of the problem we have as it relates to our future. And we did get Trevor done. We've gotten Kurt done. But there's certainly some other guys I think that would be worthy of consideration if some of our, once again, our future is laid out for us.
That's a great point, because it does all come back to that as far as you know. And I think over the years, and you think back to the year 2002, 2001, those 4 consecutive seasons, people say, well, why didn't you keep all those players together? If it's been an astronomical figure, think about keeping the teams together.
Yeah, I don't hope I'm not exaggerating here, but I remember about a year or so, you know, after we lost a few of those guys, and they added up, and it was like close to $300 million or something.
I think it's after the 01 season.
Yeah,
the guys.
You know, the more impressive thing is a lot of those guys are still playing today.
That's true. That's true.
Strike 3 call. So, Billy, can you hang around one more half inning?
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
talk a little Moneyball with you. So, a couple more strikeouts for C.J. Wilson, and it's 1-0 Rangers after 4. Continue our chat with Billy Beane, the general manager, who we appreciate him taking some time out. Of course, Moneyball, we can't let you get away without talking about Moneyball. You may be sick of talking about it, but we thought the movie was great. I thought it was terrific, and I thought it was fun. I saw you at the party, and I said, Billy, what did you think? And you said, no, what did you guys think of it? That's the most important thing. What did you think of it?
You know,
can you step back from it a little bit, even though it's about you?
I've gotten to that point.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen so many different cuts, and I've seen the final cut 3 different times now. So I'm a little desensitized. The first time, I squirmed in my seat, and it really, you know, you look like you feel like you're watching a Brad Pitt movie, which isn't bad. That's great. Right. And then you hear your name. That kind of creeps you out a little bit. But you know, I think, you know, through the whole process, and I think you guys had a good time the other night. It was a lot of fun. It was a bit of nostalgia in there. And it was great having it in Oakland. That was a spectacular theater. The crowd was fantastic. And it was kind of neat having some of the newer players that we have here now. And, you know, all of us remember those teams. And so I thought it was a good time. And then, as you said, I've seen it so many times now. I was kidding the producers. I said, you know, I've seen this enough. I'm going to go see Dolphin Tail on Friday.
You know what I think would have been great? That 20 consecutive wins. I mean, if you really think about some of the great games, and it had been, of course, another 2-hour movie on top of it, but to show just some of those games and the way the club just kept coming back and some of those players, and to build up to the point where you're saying, oh, my gosh, you're looking at 10, 15, and then the 20-game winning streak was just unheard of.
Yeah, you know, I enjoyed it more in the movie than I did when it happened, because
well, you are always like that anyway.
Yeah. I couldn't. I said to myself, I can't believe I was in a great mood for 20 straight days during the baseball season.
Well, the real true part, I thought, when you said to Jonah Hill, Paul said, text me. You know I don't watch. I mean, that's you. I mean, and you admit it. That,
yeah, this is painful for me right now.
I know it is. I know it is. But I thought the scenes where you're in the stadium, and you're clicking on, clicking off, and, you know, not really wanting to pay attention. But, you know, probably the best scene when you're driving, I guess, on the 20th. And I guess Casey said, you know, turn around, and 11-0. You said, oh well, I turn around. I got Tim Hudson on them now with 11-0 lead. I'm going to get it. And then
I was talking to Paul today, and we were talking about that day, that night. And that's one of the things that not only did you have 11-0 to lead, but you have Tim Hudson on the mound.
Exactly. Oh, we were all thinking that. Yeah.
Talk about being able to relax. So yeah, that was a real surreal night. And as I said, it was hard to enjoy that streak because the Angels were almost as hot as we were, and so you really needed to win those games.
Well, Mike Soshin, when they were in town, we talked about that, and he said the streak they were on, you know, at the same time, and it just wasn't like you're going to run away. And plus, the Angels are the Mariners that season, won the 116s. I mean, so everything went well for them except at the end.
Hayes will get the out at second base. But I thought the great part about the movie, Billy, I was surprised at how little baseball scenes there were, but the other stuff was so good. I mean, I thought the stuff with your daughter held the movie together. I mean, I honestly, and my wife said the same thing. It wasn't a big part, but that was sort of that part. It just kind of held everything together, and I thought that was terrific. I really did.
Yeah, it was actually neat because it was held me together during 10 years ago too. You know, she's obviously an important part of my life, as she still is my 2 younger children and my wife now, but yeah, that was I never get tired of watching that part of it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Well, that final scene when you got the CD and put it in, and that was great.
Casey was with me that night. It was the first time she'd seen it.
Really?
Yeah, so it was pretty special. Yeah.
And she right now is college at age what?
Scary. She's 21. Yeah. Being a father, I had to. It's you know, I'm very proud of her. She's a great kid, and she's a senior in college right now. It's hard to imagine, but once again, the movie, I'd get those parts for me. I won't ever get tired of watching.
Was there any parts that I don't want to say you didn't like, but maybe you weren't completely comfortable with?
Well, I didn't realize how bad a player I was. Well, actually, I did. I just never was that bad.
You didn't need to see it on the big screen, right?
Nah, you know what? It's all fine. You know what? There's a reason they do think I was comfortable with everything. Hey, it's Brad Pitt playing.
Exactly.
He was great.
Hannibal Lecter. He could play Hannibal Lecter, could make you like him. So.
Reaches up, makes the catch.
We had Jonah Hill up here on Sunday. I said, what happened to you?
You're
a shadow of yourself. But I mean, his size in the movie. And then he said, I just, I want to lose all the weight. And, well, he did. He lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, he looks great. And he's really, I mean, he's funny off air, too. He's really a smart guy and really nice, too. He's really genuinely a real nice, humble, I think he's only 27 years old. He's really, and, you know, everybody involved with him, you know, Brad Pitt was the same way. He couldn't have been nicer to everybody he came in contact with.
Well, and as great as Brad Pitt was in the movie, you know, Jonah Hill was awesome.
Yeah,
he was terrific.
Yeah, he really was. Philip Seymour Hoffman was fantastic, and so yeah, it was a good night the other night.
Yeah, it was great. So we don't want to give away too much of the movie, but it's coming out on Friday, and it's worth the trip to the movies. Believe me, it's great. If he runs, Suzuki's throw is just a bit late. So Murphy with the steal. But, you know, I thought you said having it in Oakland with, you know, the A's pushing hard to keep it here in Oakland, really the world premiere, as they said. I thought that made it extra special too, as opposed to having it in Los Angeles, right in downtown Oakland. It was perfect.
You know, I had many people who are experiencing those things said that was the best premiere they've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, people who've been to many of them. You know, in a lot of cases, from what I understand, you know, you're sort of doing it in where you would expect it to be, and there's not a lot of sort of vested interest. But it's in Oakland. This is what happened. This is the hometown team. So
Paramount and the Fox, I mean, too beautiful.
Yeah, really fantastic.
Now, you have to tell us, this is nerve-wracking for you. Has it always been? I know for a long time for you to watch the game.
You're assuming I'm watching, Ray. I keep spinning to you to the right and Glenn to the left. So.
No, I know. But you work hard. How's your shoulder, by the way?
You know, it's been a long process. I'm glad I got it done. But Brian Schulman, one of our trainers who was a young man we hired from Cal, has been absolutely spectacular. He's been a great addition to the organization. And for me personally, he's been there every day along the way. Usually once the players are out, I usually go in there, as you know. And it's a long process. And he's really been great. He's been great for the players, great for me, and it's coming along.
Yeah.
Throw BP in spring training.
That'll never happen. I just want to be able to put a dress shirt on.
Yeah, simple stuff. Willingham's underneath it. Side retired Billy, thanks a lot.
Glenn, thank you.
Appreciate you coming up. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
So the general manager, Billy Beane, checking in with us. We appreciate that. 1-0. The Rangers lead. California is brought to you by Cash Creek's Money Tree. Win $500 cash every hour from noon until 11 p.m. Visit cashcreek.com for details. Beautiful look at Jack London Square. Here at the Coliseum, the Rangers leading 1-0. It's the bottom of the fifth inning. C.J. Wilson, very good start so far. He's got 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Scott Sizemore had a 1-out walk in the second inning, but he was erased on the double play. Well, it's always fun to talk to the general manager, Billy Beane. Good guy.
Well, I think he's I think he hired the right man, and I think it just takes a load off of he and the rest of the organization. As far as they know, they have the manager in place, and now they can go forward, and I think he's very open about the future, and a lot of that depends on the location. There's no doubt. But Bob Melvin right now is the manager, at least for 3. I think that says a lot about Bob and the fact that Billy really liked him to give him the 3-year contract, which I think he definitely deserves.
Three and 2 to Sizemore. Bounces that one toward the shortstop. Rogers throws out Sizemore. So that is out number 1. This was Wilson's last start against the Athletics. Sunday afternoon in Arlington, September 11th. He was good. 8 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. So he's been tough on the A's, especially the last 4 starts. First 2 of the A's knocked him around a little bit. But he's pitched well against the A's lately. He's pitched well against everybody. Tonight he's trying for win number 17.
Just struck off 5 pitches.
I didn't think he had that many.
And he wanted the fastball, actually, a little cutter. Thing about him, and talk about developing patterns, I think he has developed a pattern to the point of when he is behind, 3-1, 3-2.
Pennington with chalk liner down the right field line. It rattles around in the bullpen. Pennington will have a double.
But there's a pretty good chance when he's pitching and he's in the back hand of the count. This ball slicing just barely on the chalk. Right in fair territory, about 6 inches. And that is a ball in play. All the chairs getting out of the way. Players, relief pitchers picking up the chairs to allow the right fielder Murphy to get to the ball. It'd been nice if they could have kicked it around with a chair or two and he'd gotten a third.
So Pennington has the 3rd hit for the A's. First extra base hit. Here's Kurt Suzuki. Kurt struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Took a little bit off. 83 miles an hour.
So that's that pitch down and in. Kind of that slider into the right-handers. And of course, a runner in scoring position. He's got to pitch much differently than he would normally without anybody on base. And that pitch is out of the strike zone, but looks so good coming in. Kurt Suzuki's got some pitchers who throw that pitch, and they know he knows exactly what the feeling is.
And the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That one 89, a little cutter. And that is strikeout number 8.
2012 A's ticket plans are now on sale. By securing an A's ticket plan, you're guaranteed to lock in a discounted rate on the best seats for all the biggest games. Next year's schedule is highlighted by the annual Bay Bridge Series, as well as 2 visits each from the Yankees and the Red Sox. Lock in and save today. For more information, call 510-638-4627 or visit oaklandathletics.com/2012.
Well, we've seen the schedule, and it is a pretty good one. So you may say, well, what makes for a pretty good schedule? Well, the fact that in the A's case, runner goes, and Pennington will steal 3rd.
Well, Mike Napa was not going to throw, and that is a good reason why not, because he's got a great jump. He was given 3rd base. Got the middle infielders holding him on. Napoli just trying to block the ball, which happened to be in the dirt. Now maybe a mistake. The A's can score the tying run.
1-0 to Brandon Allen, who fouled out to Beltre in the 3rd. But so we look at who's coming to town, and as you just said, the Red Sox twice, the Yankees twice, which is, it's important for the A's.
Especially on
try
the
to get
weekends.
people in the seats. Yes.
On the weekends.
So that's good. But you also look at the road trips. Couple less East Coast trips, which is good, and the interleague trip is a good one. Colorado and Arizona, I believe. So those are 2 good cities. And before you know it, it'll be spring training. 1-2 pitch to Brandon Allen. He slices one to left field, and that's a base hit. And this ball game is tied. So Allen comes through behind in the count. Doesn't matter. He's got an RBI single, 1-1.
Well, the young man, of course, we have seen him try to make some adjustments, and he just did. A very tough lefty. And in Texas, that game, you referred to the 11 strikeouts. Brandon Allen struck out 3 times, those hard sliders away. But he stayed on them and right down into the left field corner. Had a little checkup spin on it, but excellent hitting. And especially with 2 outs. And that's a great adjustment made by Brandon Allen, lefty, against the very tough left-hander, C.J. Wilson.
So give Brandon Allen his 11th RBI as an Athletic. Now Michael Taylor steps in. Taylor struck out looking in the 3rd. And the outside corner first strike. That was pitch number 81 for Wilson.
Ron Washington looking on to see that his pitch is pitching well, but he can also look on the A's dugout and see that Brandon McCarthy, for the first 5, has done an excellent job. That's how you beat a good team. You stop their hitting and hope that their pitcher makes a mistake. Not that C.J. Wilson did, but Brandon McCarthy has kept the Rangers intact. Just the 1 run that he's given up and 3 hits.
Close pitch, 91, and Wilson tried to shave that inside corner, just missed. 2-2 the count.
Well, Jerry Davis, we've seen him with a low strike tonight. He's definitely not calling the anything waist high, and can't have both. And looked like it might have had the corner, but might have called it high. He's calling the ankle high fastballs, but not the waist high.
Now full count, so that will get Brandon Allen moving at first base.
Well, look for something off speed. That's been what Wilson has been throwing. The slider down and in to the right hander. See if he stays in the same pattern. He's going to go back door with something.
Taylor hangs in there.
Mike Napoli was behind the plate last night. 3-2 changeup from the left-hander who gave up the first home run. Holland. So Napoli, of course, catchers remember what hitters do in previous at bats, whether it's against this pitcher or the pitcher before.
And he missed inside. So Michael Taylor with a very good at bat. He ends up with the walk. And Wilson's going to get a visit from his pitching coach. That's the second walk. It's going to be tough for Wilson to pitch real deep into this game with where he is pitch-wise. Allen at second, Taylor at first. Jamal Weeks got the A's first hit in the game. It was a leadoff single in the 4th inning. Speed pitch drops low. Here's pitch number 87. Another breaking ball, and this one misses inside. 2-0.
Now that's the pitch, or the pitches that Jamal Weeks swung and missed in his first at bat, then singled in his second at bat. So maybe realizing the pitch coming down and in, knows it's going to break out of the strike zone, and instead of swinging over it and missing it, is taking it.
One on the inside corner, called a strike. We went right back to that breaking ball, and that's the pitch Weeks took in the first 2 pitches of the at-bat, but he could not hold up on that one. So 2-2 the count. He's looking to take the lead. They've tied it here in the 5th.
Pennington an opposite field double, Allen an opposite field single, and that's really the approach that you take, and Pennington did it perfectly to start the inning with an out, 1-out double, and then Brandon Allen drove him home. But you just really stay back, and if you get the breaking pitch, try to realize that if it comes in at a certain level, it's going to nip out of the strike zone if it's going to be breaking, which that's what Wilson's doing.
That one hit hard into left field, a base hit. Here comes Hamilton. His throw to the plate is not in time. Allen scores. The ball rolls to the fence. Throw goes through to second base. Not in time. Everybody's safe. And the A's lead 2-1. Hamilton made a very good throw, but it got there right about the same time as Brandon Allen did. And Napoli could not hold it.
If Brandon Allen is not hurt, he's a strong young man, because that was quite a collision with a very, very good-sized catcher. But outstanding hitting. The breaking ball coming in a little bit higher, and Jamal Weeks right on top of it, hitting it hard past the diving third baseman Beltre. But you're right, strong throw. And Brandon Allen, watch the collision at the plate, a wide turn, and he hit him and did not move. The left knee of Napoli got in, and that's what Brandon Allen hit with his left shoulder and spun him around, but he did get the plate. And let's hope he's okay, because that's quite an impact. So an error is going to the left fielder on the throw. That's a tough error, but I figure they were going to advance on. You think they would advance on the throw, but maybe
that, yeah.
Because the throw and the play was made to second base by Wilson, who was backing up home. Figured Jamal Weeks was not going to go, but nevertheless, a couple of guys in scoring position.
Yeah, I think the situation was, I don't think Weeks headed to second until he saw the ball go past Napoli.
Watch the left knee, and Napoli is good size, and that's a left shoulder, left arm of Brandon Allen that hit a solid knee. So Brandon Allen himself, a former football player. I think maybe the next time he'll go a little bit higher instead of the knee, because Napoli is good size, and he had those tree trunks put right in front of the plate.
Scott Feldman starts to throw. Two-0 pitch to Coco Crisp is bounced toward Kinsler. And that will do it, but the A's take the lead. They get 2 runs on 3 hits. There was also a walk, so we're headed to the 6th. 2-1 Athletics. Major League Baseball history with 20 saves in each of their first 3 seasons. A couple of good young closers in the ballpark. Andrew Bailey and Neftali Feliz, both very good. So Brandon McCarthy now has a 2-1 lead as he faces the top of the Rangers order, Kinsler, Anderson, Hamilton. Only 57 pitches for McCarthy. No walks, 1 strikeout. That one's into left field, a base hit. Kinsler with a base hit. So hit number 4 for Texas. Last night the Rangers had 14 hits.
Well, a similar fastball that Kinsler hit that was handled by Sizemore in the first inning. This one, though, unfortunately got past him.
Right around the AL average of shutdown innings for Brandon McCarthy. The runner goes, and this one's popped up, and it'll be into the seats. So Ron Washington not wasting any time as he sends Kinsler 25 for 27 in steal attempts for the Rangers second baseman.
Well, he's trying to become a 30-30, 30 home runs, 30 steals. No doubt Wash is the old school of sacrificing, stealing, hit and run. Of course, he has the power. Guys, he can drive in runs with the long ball, but he also can manufacture runs. He's looking for a ground ball to get 2. McCarthy has had the ground ball working tonight.
And Wash knows that. That's why I keep an eye on Kinsler. There he goes again, and pitch is swung on a miss. The throw to second is not in time. Pennington reached back for him. So Kinsler with the stolen base, and he's in scoring position.
Well, there was a hit and run, and Pennington getting to the bag. You can see him if we can show the high home. The high home camera shot again, where you see that he's kind of holding his position a little bit to maybe think the contact's going to be made.
And there goes Kinsler again, and the pitch is popped up. Brandon Allen has a play, and indeed, thank you, Andrus swung at a pitch that was high, and I think Kinsler would have stole third.
Watch Pennington. He comes in here and then goes over, and as a result, Kurt Suzuki's throwing to a moving target, and obviously he throws to the bag. But you know, sometimes you have to commit and go to the bag. If the guy hits the ball, it's hit and run, and he finds the hole, tip your hat to him. But Kurt that time made a very strong throw. If they had a middle infielder set up at the bag, it might have been a different story.
So here's Hamilton. Hamilton pops it up, foul territory, and it's just into the seats. Hamilton 0 for 2 tonight. He was 2 for 5 last night with a double, scored a couple of runs. Doing a lot of dancing out there. It's 0-2.
Dancing the point, the hitter might say, calm down. If you're going to run, fine, but don't go back and forth, because that is a distraction for the hitter, and especially if the hitter thinks he's going to be running. But I think with Elvis Andrus, with Kinsler running, he was looking for a pitch to hit. Maybe not so much a hit and run, just figured he got a good pitch to hit, he's going to swing the bat. Michael Young does the same thing when he gets a pitch to hit.
I got to believe, though, Ray, if you're the hitter, and maybe you're not expecting it, and the runner at second takes off, that's got to be distracting.
Well, it is. You see him go, and especially with 2 strikes, you have to make contact with a good pitch. To that point, you might let him try to steer to get to third base, but you're right. He's looking straight out towards the pitcher, and there's this runner at second.
That one's driven to left center field. Willingham's got room, though. He gets back there, makes the catch. Kinsler will tag, and he will try for third, and he'll make it. But now there are 2 outs.
I've actually seen hitters, when they've had a runner at second base dancing, they'll step out of the batter's box and just put their hands up and say, sit still, stand still.
Yeah,
don't
right.
be moving. And these are some very good hitters, but bottom line, it's easy to be distracted when you look out and you see him dancing.
If there's 2 strikes, you don't have a choice. Right?
Exactly. Well, this guy's aggressive. There's no doubt about that. And you've seen Michael Young throughout his great career. Anything close, he'll pull it, he'll hit it to right field. So the outfield kind of shading him. Coco in right center.
Swing and a miss. McCarthy stays away from Michael Young.
I wonder if he gets a wake-up call when it's time to go back to the mound.
Maybe looking for a little divine intervention. McCarthy stays out there. Just missed. 1-1 the count.
Probably thinking about the hitters he will be facing in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Kinsler, the tying run at third. Foul back.
A great location on all 3 pitches to Michael Young, and after he pulled the base hit to left field in his first at bat on the 2-1 fastball, now Brandon McCarthy staying outside with a 2-seamer, bringing it back to the outside corner. And ideally, you get Michael Young to open up just enough that he can't reach the pitch. Now see if he goes cutter out there instead of the 2-seamer, bringing it back, take it away from him.
Stayed up, and Young fouls it to the right side. Young with a base hit, and he scored a run in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th. Well, the center, Coco Christ going back, and he's got room, and he makes the catch. So Kinsler stranded at third, and we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. The A's 2, the Rangers 1. free scan. Coors Light Free Scan is brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. Now Josh Willingham will hit second here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A's leading 2-1. Matsui, Willingham, Sizemore. He's got to Wilson in the 5th inning with their 2 runs and 3 hits off him. Matsui with a ground out and a single. Looks like Alexi Agando warming up in the Rangers bullpen.
Not a bad guy to have come out of the bullpen with their starters, the 5 starters, with 13 wins, at least 13, and he's one of them. But hit postseason, and Rangers are hoping that they'll put in postseason back-to-back season. The Angels still hoping they'll also be there, one way or the other. But you only need 3, at the most 4 starting pitchers. You can take someone, he was good, and Ogando might be the guy because he has bullpen experience.
So full count to Hideki Matsui. That one should reach the seats, and it will. Right at 100 pitches in the 6th. Fifth inning really racked up the pitch total for Wilson. This one's driven to left. Hamilton's going back. He turns around near the wall and he makes the catch. 1 out here in the 6th. Here's the AT&T trivia answer. Who are the only 3 relievers in Major League Baseball history with 20 saves in each of their first 3 seasons? Billy Koch, Cash Sasaki, and Andrew Bailey. Bailey with 20 saves this year. Mentioned Tali Feliz. This is just his 2nd year as their closer. Andrus straightens up and throws out Willingham for out number 2.
Andrew Bailey hoping that he can get in and do some damage tonight. He has had success, especially in the post All-Star break throughout his career. Feliz, who they talked about maybe being a starter in the spring, trying to stretch him out a little bit to be a starter, but I'll tell you, with the success he has had in the bullpen as he did last year in his rookie season, Rookie of the Year, why take him out?
Well, you got to have somebody to replace him too, right?
Yeah, somebody can come in and have the percentage that he did last season. And it'd be hard to take him out of that role. After all, you can look at Mariano Rivera, 600.
But they tinkered with that idea fairly deep into spring training.
Yeah, they did. That might have affected him a little bit early in his 2011 season.
Two and 1 the count to Sizemore. A walk and a ground out for Sizemore. Side corner strike. when you see the miles per hour of 87, 88, 89, usually means it's the cutter, right, Ray?
Yeah, it's got some movement and almost to the point that it's hard for him to hold the ball straight.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's cutter. Doesn't break a lot, but it's a great pitch. Seems like he's thrown it more than 13% of the time tonight.
But you look at 53% fastballs. That means 47% of the other off-speed variety pitches, and that's a lot. You almost put him in that category of a crafty left-hander.
Yep. Doesn't throw real hard.
But he's not the real crafty. The crafty would be a guy like Jamie Moyer. He can change up off his changeup and sink the ball away from a right-hander. Keep you off balance with the off-speed pitches and occasional good fastball. He will come back at 49. I hope he does.
He wants to. There's the walk. Walk number 3. Now Wilson has 8 strikeouts tonight. That's a lot. But I don't know that you could say he's been real sharp. I think we've seen him sharper. Or maybe it's just the last 2 innings are the most recent memory. Sizemore takes off, and he is safe at second base. Well, sometimes you just take off and keep running.
That's the best way. Lou Brock did it. He started it way back when, and you get a bigger lead with a left-handed pitcher. You go on the first move. Sizemore was out of the starting blocks, head first slide to the back towards the outfield, and Angel Hernandez, as Sizemore got the right hand in first, the sweep tag did not get him, and he kept his foot barely on the bag. And outstanding speed by Sizemore.
So see if Pennington can come through with a 2-out hit. Just a bit off the plate.
Look at the hand for Sizemore. He's going to the outside. He puts his right hand. It pulls the left hand back, so that arm, hand not exposed, and there for Anders to make the tag as he was running to the bag also.
That was driven to left field. Hamilton racing back, still going back, and he makes the catch. So that keeps a run off the board for the A's. They lead 2-1 as we head to the 7th.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
Seventh inning with the A's leading 2-1 behind Brandon McCarthy. They'll face Beltre, Napoli, and Murphy. Big overhand curve, just a bit outside.
71st pitch was just thrown by McCarthy. How about that? 10 ground ball outs, 7 in the air, just 1 strikeout. 22 batters through the first 6, 18 first pitch strikes. And that says a lot about the ability of Brandon McCarthy to throw strikes consistently and especially get ahead. C.J. Wilson, on the other hand, has thrown a lot of pitches, well over 100, or at least over 100. Brandon McCarthy has had a 3-ball count to Chavez, and that's it. Actually, 3-2 to Beltre.
Right up the middle, and it's a base hit for Beltre. He's 2 for 3. So the leadoff man aboard.
Now batting, number 25.
We talked with Willie Bean about
Napoli.
Brandon McCarthy. He's a very talented guy, just has to stay healthy.
Well, you look at his innings pitched this season also, the really first time in a while that he's thrown this many.
Or ever.
Exactly.
He's over 160 now. So he's going to be right around 165, 170 when the season's over. That's pretty good for a guy who has really battled injuries his whole career.
A great accomplishment. Goals individually for McCarthy. He's shooting for number 10. And Gio Gonzalez, of course, trying to match his last year total, was at 15. He's standing at 14. He's got the first game Friday against the Angels in Anaheim. Should be Jared Weaver on the mound for the Angels.
Napoli skies one to right. Michael Taylor is under it, and that's out number 1. So here's Murphy.
Now batting, number 7, David Murphy.
You look at the board, you see that Brandon McCarthy pitched in the 7th inning, 75 pitches, and you look also down and you see a couple of guys loosening up. You say, wait a minute, 75 pitches? But you look at every inning. Going through this lineup of the Rangers, that's how good they are.
Wear you down.
Yeah.
Murphy slaps on the left field. That's a base hit. It's just what they do.
And then you say, okay, Murphy's 7th place hitter. Then here comes Cruz batting 8th. And he's always dangerous. But Murphy didn't want to roll over, just took the outside fastball, shot it to left field. Excellent hitting.
Well, Ray, the Yankees swept the doubleheader from the Rays today, and they are celebrating New York. How about this? The first game of the doubleheader, they clinched a playoff spot. Second game of the doubleheader, they clinched their division. That's not too shabby. And a tough day for the Rays. They could not afford to lose doubleheader.
Right.
Now, Boston, the team they're chasing in that wild card, also lost. So the Rays lose a half a game in that wild card standing. So they're now 2.5 back.
And the Angels?
Angels are 2.5 back too. So the Rays and the Angels both 2.5 behind Boston in that wild card. So congratulations to the Yankees. They are in. Yankees in. Tigers in. Phillies in. Cruz pops it up. Brandon Allen is under it in foul territory. He's got it. So Cruz is fouled out to Allen twice in this game.
2 runners on base, 7 pitches in 4 batters thrown by Brandon McCarthy in this inning. I mean, that's the amazing thing.
Number 9, Andy Chavez.
And they say about a manager's hardest decision is when to take out the starting pitcher, when to bring in a reliever. And right now would be one of those. You have a lefty coming up. You got lefty warming up the bullpen. Brandon McCarthy has faced Chavez twice. Trying to get him out for the third and the most important time.
It's Koji Wahara throwing for a while, so he may be the guy we see. Bottom of this inning. To right field, and McCarthy should get out of the jam. Beautiful. And he will. So the Rangers strand a pair, and we're in the 7th inning stretch. 2-1 A's over the Rangers. He's pitching very well again tonight. A little more work to do. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Get your oil change tune-up in the Spong experts. Koji Wahara comes in. Picked up at the trade deadline from the Orioles. 61st appearance. So he'll face Suzuki, Allen, and Taylor. Adding on would be a decent idea against the Texas Rangers. .111 pitches is where Wilson finished up. Pitched well, but it was the 5th inning that. See, that's when the A's scored the 2 runs, but it also really hurt his pitch count.
7 3-2 counts tonight. And then another 3 that he had 2 and 2 counts. So, yeah, they add up fast. And I think you described it perfectly. He's got great stuff, and he used the breaking pitch very effectively. But it recounts 3 and 2, 2 and 2, 3 and 1 that he had to use the breaking ball to try to get the out. So, really too many pitches per batter.
Three and 1 to Suzuki, who has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. Rips this one toward Beltre at third, who smothers it. Suzuki's out, 1 out.
Time now for the forward right choice. And how about Brandon Allen making a nice adjustment with C.J. Wilson pitching. He throws him a slider outside. Hits it perfectly to left field as Pennington, who had doubled, stole third. And Brandon Allen with a couple of strikes, 2 outs. drove him home, and then he would score the go-ahead run with a collision at the plate with big Mike Napoli, but able to drive in and then score. So a good night for Brandon Allen.
Takes outside. So Balfour throwing out in the bullpen for the A's. Jesus getting loose just in case.
And he might pinch hit for Taylor. Taylor might hit, and then David will go out and play defense. Although he has both batting gloves on, which would indicate he might be hitting. Bob Melvin might also want to see Michael Taylor face the right-hander. Start of the game, perhaps because C.J. Wilson lefty was on the mound. So right now, Bob Melvin, since he's got the job for 3 years at least, he can do a little bit more evaluating the last
big time
8 games, counting tonight. And he will have that same intense face trying to win every one of the games starting tonight. A great way to start his new managerial career with the Athletics.
Fastball right there, Allen. So that is out number 2.
Now batting.
You say you take a fastball like that, what are you looking for? And Brandon Allen would be saying the same thing. Pretty good pitch to hit. The 1-2 count. Might have been thinking off speed.
High fastball. Taylor swings and misses. Another swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. And on 3 pitches, Taylor strikes out. So Wahara has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We are going to the 8th inning. It's 2-1. A's lead. And it is brought to you by McDonald's. On this date in 1970, Vida Blue, a young Vida Blue, pitches a no-hitter versus the Twins. Becomes the youngest pitcher to perform the feat since Paul Dean, who was 22 in 1934. The only base runner, Ray Harmon Killebrew, who walked in the 4th inning. Bergkamp and Harrison triple and a home run. Gaylord Perry's brother, Jim, was the losing pitcher.
He broke some bats that night, I bet, too. Might have had that heavy heater, man. Ooh, get in your kitchen and shatter some bats.
Get in your kitchen and just stay in there for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. And your hands would be hurting. Got a lot of kindling out of his fastballs inside. Just see all those guys in the outfield moving. Maybe they just knew Grant Balfour was coming in.
That was his song. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up from Smog Expert. So Balfour takes over here in the 8th inning. First pitch to Kinsler is a strike.
Brandon McCarthy, 79 pitches, 60 strikes.
79, 60. That's ridiculously good.
27 batters, 21 first pitch strikes.
And I got no walks, 1 strikeout.
That's exactly right.
Kinsler is 1 for 3. So just 1 strikeout. That's all right. He was great. Rangers have had their leadoff man on in each of the last 3 innings, but that leadoff man has not been able to score in any of those 3.
Three-1 fastball fouled back. And it's safe to say here comes a 3-2 fastball. See if it's a challenge. It was. Game against the Angels. Grant Balfour came in. It was not a safe situation, but came in and had a similar count. Gave up a home run and said, okay, enough of that. And then it went to the slider, the curveball, and changeup to get the next 3 outs. So he's got an assortment of pitches he can use. Doesn't have to just stay with the fastball.
That one's hit to left, and that's hit well. Willingham is going back. He's at the wall, and it is gone. Kinsler has tied it at 2 with a home run right on top of the out-of-town scoreboard, and that is number 30 for Kinsler.
And you know, if you stayed with the challenge fastball and he fouled him back, he was going to do exactly that. He swings hard. He's got the uppercut swing and get right above the yellow line and a home run. Even with a fastball up a little bit, still got under it, and he's got the lift.
Looks like it lands right on top of that little trough out there. Deck. So here's Elvis Andrus. So Brandon McCarthy, unfortunately, will not get his 10th win. Bit outside to Elvis Andrus. That home run by the Rangers was number 194 on the year. Third player in the league category. Toward right field, Taylor is under it. Andrus is retired. So that'll bring up the third place hitter, Josh Hamilton.
Now batting, number 32.
So he mentioned the Yankees headed to the postseason. In the National League, in the Central, Milwaukee lost and the second place Cardinals won. So the magic number for Milwaukee stays the same. It is 3. So they are very close. In the West, Arizona won their game this afternoon. Giants are still playing down in Los Angeles. So Arizona, with their win, their magic number right now is 2. That one's drilled to right, and that is gone. 3-2 Texas. A line shot, home run number 24 for Hamilton.
Well, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Pulled the hands in. And actually took the top hand off the bat. And that's strong. And a laser to right field. And Kinsler's hit at the top of the wall. The yellow line. This one, and no doubt.
Huh. But really 2 completely different swings. Huh? Yeah. Kinsler and then Hamilton. Obviously one is right-handed, one is left-handed.
Well, it's one thing for the tie, but now the A's are trailing 3-2.
Well, Ray, StatsBand BI tells us that Texas has hit 19 home runs in 18 games against the A's this year. Almost seems like more.
Well, the Saturday night before the All-Star break, Hamilton hit the 2-run shot after Andrus reached base when Connor Jackson ranged a little bit too far to his right.
Well,
and allowed Andrus to reach first base, and then Hamilton hit the 2-run walk-off.
the game-winning RBI. That's the RBI that puts your team ahead in the game for good. So you can technically get a game-winning RBI in the very first inning. Two pitch, sliced foul. Well, too, Balfour's been so good this year, you just don't expect what has happened with Kinsler, a solo home run to tie it, Hamilton, a solo home run to give Texas the lead. And Michael Young pokes from the right field. He's 2 for 4. Well, A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Whether it's a steam train through the Redwood Forest or the beach train to Santa Cruz, Roaring Camp is the ride of a lifetime. RoaringCamp.com. So here's Beltre. Still just 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Fuentes starts to throw. More foul territory action for Allen, and he is going to reach into the seats, and he cannot quite get it. The fan did make the catch.
Well, the umpire pointing in to the seats, meaning that the ball was over the rail. It's not like the fan leaned over and interfered. Brandon Allen, though, would like to have had a clear chance to go after the ball as the fans reaching for it, and that's not what you hope, especially if that guy's wearing a green and gold jersey. But Brandon was there, but the fan stopped him and could not catch the ball.
One now to Beltre.
but Brandon's going right there, and this guy's right arm stopped him.
Trade with a pair of singles and a ground out so far. And now it's 2-1. That's Mike Adams getting ready. He's the setup man for Texas. George Pennington, he's going to step on second, throw to first, and that's a double play. Side retired, Kinsler homers, Hamilton homers, Texas leads 3-2.
No way!
Here's our game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Brandon McCarthy, 7 very good innings tonight, but unfortunate top of the 8th. Kinsler with a solo home run on Grant Balfour. That tied the game at 2. 2 batters later, Josh Hamilton, that's gone. Solo home run there, and just like that, the Texas Rangers sniffing for the postseason. And they have taken a 3-2 lead. 3-9-1 for Texas, 2-5-1 for the Athletics. C.J. Wilson went 6, McCarthy goes 7. And Weeks to lead it off here in the bottom of the 8th. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. The pitching change. It's Mike Adams, who's the setup man, and he's a good one. That's the numbers combined with San Diego and Texas. Right-handers hitting 140, left-handers 185. Rangers really wanted to improve their bullpen at the trade deadline, and feel like they did. Remember, they also picked up the left-hander Mike Gonzalez a little bit after the trade deadline. So Wahara, Adams, Gonzalez all added to Rangers bullpen.
Self-defense swing. It's going for his back shin, back leg, and it's got a spun, a little bit of a smile, and starts and tries to hold up, and it's a swing. Hope he didn't hurt himself. Remember, in Texas, he had a tweak to his Weeks' leg.
Weeks fouls it just over the A's bullpen. Mile has 2 hits today, 2 for 3 with an RBI. So the A's with a couple more chances here against Texas.
Well, they know who they'll have for the 9th inning if the Rangers have the lead. Hard slider down and in, and found off the foot of Jamal Weeks. Just trying to get on base. Kinsler led off top of the order for the Rangers in their half of the inning. Jamal, although not the power hitter that Kinsler is, still has the ability to get on base and make things happen. And he will try to do that.
Chasing that pitch that's down and in. It was kind of a dynamic duo for the Padres last year with Adams in the 8th inning and then Heath Bell in the 9th. Almost got him to the postseason.
Except for the 10-game losing streak.
That's what got him. Yeah.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
Close pitch, and it's 3-2. Make that 2-2.
Well, that's hold your breath time there with Jerry Davis strike zone tonight, although that a little bit below the knees. But Mike Napoli held it a long time, thinking he might get the call.
Weeks swings and misses. A little foul tip held on by Napoli. So that is out number 1. Well, Ray, before the game, we had pizza delivered to us from the good folks at Roundtable, and that is Matthew Breen on the right, his son Collins. He's done it a couple times this year, and how much can we thank this guy? Oh, my
I hope
goodness.
a lot, because Marty must have eaten all of it.
Marty finished off the pepperoni, but we want to thank Matthew for doing that again, sending up a couple Roundtable pizzas. And they were terrific, as they always are. Tri-Cities Roundtables is where you want to go.
You'll be there and walk in and say, "Hi, I'm Glenn."
Well, there's a couple pieces that are cold right up behind me. They may not make it until I get to my car.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. But we appreciate Matthew doing that again. It's very kind. He knows we like our food up here. Michael Young on the backhand takes care of Coco Crisp.
Well, 2 of the speed guys are not able to get on base to try to set the table for the middle part of the batting order. So no doubt that was Mike Adams' main objective, to keep those guys off the bases.
Bailey joins Fuentes.
Andrew Bailey hoping that Matsui can get into one. Almost hit one out in his last at bat. A deep fly to left on a 3-2 fastball. Just did not have the carry going opposite field.
Just a bit outside.
During the series when the A's were in Arlington, Matsui Hideki got him for the home run. Good swing out on the front foot. That was the 9th of September.
Fastball right there, 93 miles an hour from Mike Adams. From what everybody tells you about Adams, he's got a good fastball, but it's just that cutter slider combination that is really what makes him tough to hit. And he will go to those pitches when he needs the out.
Just went to one of them there, but it was low.
Three and one now to Matsui with Willingham in the on-deck circle. Been nice to get Willingham up there with a runner on. There it was. Yeah. On 3-1.
But a lot of that is catcher Mike Napoli. Guys come out of the bullpen, and Napoli's been doing it. Did it last night with Holland, and that was C.J. Wilson. And now the relievers come in and kind of continues. Just a matter of not giving in with a good fastball, especially in the 3-1, 3-2 count. Slider. 2-seamer.
3-1 cutter, 3-2 slider. Huh? So a good battle here between Adams and Matsui. Grounded toward Beltre. Slid over to his left, makes the play, and Mike Adams has a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the 8th inning. 9th inning coming up. Brought to you by Lowe's. Visit Lowe's to pick up your instant win game card for a chance to win World Series tickets. Compliments of Stouts. We've reached the 9th inning from the O.co Coliseum. The Rangers leading 3-2 over the A's. Texas with a magic number of 4 to win their second consecutive AL West title.
Well, Fuentes has to keep doing the great job he has been doing, and that's keep it right where it is. 1 run.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Season for Brian Fuentes, you can take that record and just throw it out the window, because he has pitched so much better since the first couple of months of the season.
Foul territory again for Brandon Allen. Can he get there on the mound? And he can't. That is tough, folks. Let's try running, looking up, and then hitting a mound.
Yeah, you know the mound's going to be there. One of the few places that has a mound in the playing field, and then he starts to go up the incline, stumbles a little bit, and says, "Where am I?"
Napoli reaches out. It's like a changeup, pokes it into center field for a hit. Napoli's 2 for 4. 10 hits now for Texas.
Now batting, 7, David.
Well, starts the big swing, keeps the bat back, and it's got to go down and serves the ball to the outfield. That's strong. You can do things like that.
De Los Santos gets up. Sizemore in on the grass. Murphy did not show a bunt.
Rush might be looking at the speed or lack of with Napoli at first and take a perfect bunt. And Chris has got the 1-run lead. Murphy actually swings well against left-handers.
Well, you start kind of looking ahead too. If you do the bunt, what happens with Nelson Cruz?
Walk him and pitch to
Chavez.
Chavez.
Swing and a miss. Fuentes strikes out Murphy. So San Jose Sharks hockey is back, and it's better than ever on CSN California. The Sharks and Comcast Sportsnet want to celebrate by giving away 5 family 4-packs and tickets to our loyal fans. Log on to the Sharks page on csncalifornia.com. We got a pitching change at the Coliseum. De Los Santos comes in. Fuentes is out.
or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
– 3-2 Rangers. Bob Melvin wants De Los Santos to face Nelson Cruz. And that is what's going to happen. Runner at first, 1 out here in the ninth. Two 3.98 ERA for De Los Santos. And what a great learning year for De Los Santos, huh? Not a full year in the big leagues, but he's been here a lot, and he's pitched in a lot of games.
Well, he's got a great arm, and once he realizes how he can use the arm to get big outs, he can be used in a very meaningful role for this ball club. Come in and you throw 96, you're going to be given opportunities.
Got to throw strikes, though. It's 3-0. Left-handed hitting Andy Chavez is in the on-deck circle. He's in first strike. Cruz is 0 for 3. He reached on an error in the third inning. He's DHing again tonight. Same thing last night. 1 for 8 in the series. That one's hit hard into left field, a base hit. They can hit those fastballs, can't they? Man.
Doesn't matter how hard you throw them either. Fastball count, good hitters will hit them, especially if there's not much movement, and the only movement that had was going into left field.
Now batting, number 9, Andy Chavez.
So 2 on, 1 out for Andy Chavez. Chavez is 0 for 3. He did have a couple of hits last night. A little bit high, 2-0. Well, the Rangers bullpen is quiet.
Fleas was up when the foul ball was down, that maybe he is loose, and seeing what's going to happen in this half inning with De Los Santos falling behind another hit at 3-0.
That's the top of the order next with Kinsler. That one in first strike. Napoli is the runner at second. Cruz at first. Napoli average speed. Cruz has the tender hamstring. Weeks charges, flips to Pennington, and that's a double play. De Los Santos gets out of it. Nothing for the Rangers, and the bottom of the ninth is coming up. That's the bottom of the 9th inning at the Coliseum. A's need 1 to tie, and they need 2 to head on home victorious. They'll have to do it against the closer, Neftali Feliz, who, as Ray said, was ready down in the bullpen. He was just sitting there waiting. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Get your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. And there is Feliz. 28 saves. He's blown 6 saves.
The big thing was De Los Santos getting a double play ground ball to get back to the dugout, trailing by 1 run. Rich Moreland's going to take over at first base.
So Moreland for Young as Willingham steps in. First pitch just a bit low. 12 for 12 in the AL West ballparks in his career. How about that? Adam Kennedy, a home run here in Oakland.
Remember that? I sure remember that one. He came in the first time just throwing bullets, came in the next time, and Kennedy got it.
Willingham tonight, 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Outside corner strike. Feliz, just 23 years old. He turned 23 in May. Last year, 40 saves. Got to the big leagues in 2009. So we said we saw him right here. His major league debut.
Yep.
And he was still on hard.
Yes, he was. So Kennedy got a minute. And he learned all those other pitches.
Yeah, he is not just a rare back and fire guy. He was then, but he can do a few other things now. Three-one pitch inside. He walked him.
Now, time now for the Fremont Bank plays of the game. And Brandon McCarthy, what an outstanding performance by the A's right-hander. Just 79 pitches through 7 innings. He had that 6-3 double play off the bat of Mike Napoli. He threw strikes. 27 batters he faced. 21 first pitch strikes. No walks. Just 1 strikeout. 10 fly ball outs. 10 ground balls. 7 flies. And a no decision, unfortunately. But hopeful that the A's can come back and win.
So Jay Miller will pinch run. A little added speed on the bases. Here's Sizemore. Sizemore has walked a couple times tonight. Way outside.
So they use the rosin. Feliz goes for the dirt. Just a little bit moist dirt on his fingers.
Swing and a miss. 96 miles an hour. Feliz, his delivery, it just doesn't look like he's even given the full effort. He is, but it's just, it's easy delivery and the ball just shoots right out.
what he did last year, going to the World Series in his rookie season and it's Rookie of the Year. A lot of confidence because of a season like that, especially in your first. Look at Derek Jeter, 96, still there.
One attempt, and it's popped up foul. So now the count is 1-2.
This guy's a tough guy to bunt. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Whew. Plus, he squared around late. Makes it even harder. I always like to see guys miss a bunt and then hit a home run.
Sure. Off the end of the bat. Day game tomorrow, 12:30. And we'll have it for you here on Comcast Sportsnet California. So, quick turnaround. Sizemore got a fastball and he fouls it straight back. The pitching matchup tomorrow for the day game will be Colton Lewis and Trevor Cahill.
See here, White Rabbit one more time.
Yeah, last time. Miller's got a good lead. I don't know that he's necessarily going to be running, maybe, but he does have a good lead at first.
Scott Sizemore has got a good swing, and he's catching up a couple of the fastballs, at least fouled them back.
That was a breaking ball, and he popped it up. Napoli has it, and that's out number one. He got a hanger, and he missed it. Want to see a hanger?
That's a hanger.
Now batting. Shortstop, number 2, Clark.
Mark Reynolds hit that pitch over the Green Monster tonight for the Orioles.
Well, I think sometimes you just try to do too much, right?
Yeah, it just come out of your shoes, and he knew it. Just really trying to protect with a couple of strikes, and especially with the fastballs, and then got the hanger and sent it straight up. And unfortunately, with the area behind home plate, there's not a lot of foul territory, and it stays in, and that's doing something.
So here's Pennington. Fastball, 95 miles an hour, but inside. Pennington doubled and scored in the fifth. 1 for 3. Inside, 2-0. So Feliz a little off with his control tonight.
All these throws at first base might be on his own, just trying to get comfortable throwing to the plate.
That one on the outside corner for a strike. So Feliz has battled back to make it a 2-2 count. A couple of fastballs, one a called strike, and Pennington on the foul ball. The Rangers know that the Angels have won their game. Winners tonight in Toronto. 2-2 pitch, foul back again.
And the Angels, of course, would like to see the A's help by winning. That pull them down over the one. If they could probably get to 3 over the weekend, of course, it means they would have to sweep the A's over the weekend. The Angels, and of course, Seattle going into Texas for the 3 games. Texas back for 3, and then on the road for the final 3 of the season in Anaheim. You mentioned the Angels still playing for a possible wild card spot. Well, just 2.5 behind the Red Sox. Shook off the curveball or the slider to go to the fastball away.
This one popped up over our head. Yeah, the Angels just 2.5 back in the wild card. And the first place Red Sox, I should say, wild card leading Red Sox have off tomorrow. They will be at Yankee Stadium for a 3-game series over the weekend. Now the Yankees have wrapped up the division, but so full count. Ready with Bob Melvin start Jay Miller here.
Well, he's had a big lead, and we have seen him on 3-2 with Jamal Weeks, and Miller has the speed.
He does run, and Pennington hits one back to Feliz, who grabs it, flips to first to get the out there.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because that would have at least put the runner in scoring position. That would have been maybe 2 if it had gone through, or even with Feliz catching it. Miller shows the speed. Could understand why Bob Melvin sent him, and also for Cliff Pennington to make solid contact, but Feliz handled it.
Now the A's are just a base hit away from tying this game. Could be anything. A little flare somewhere.
Kurt Suzuki's the guy, and Andrew Bailey's going to get loose. The A's can tie it, take it to extra innings, or maybe win it. Just win it outright.
So Suzuki steps in.
He's been swinging early tonight.
Left field. Hamilton is back, and he's got it. Kurt may have got it off the end of the bat. So the ball game ends, and the Texas Rangers with a solo home run by Kinsler, solo home run by Hamilton in the top of the 8th inning. Grab the lead, and they hold on. So the Rangers win it. They now have a magic number of 3 to clinch the AL West.